Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cruise News Show. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise updates. Well, it's Friday. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and one of the stories that is piquing my interest is the continued conversation about, do cruise lines have enough money to continue to operate? Is the money running out? We've got hard data on one of the major cruise lines. I'm going to share that with you later on in the show. You may be surprised at how close they are to running out of cash, or maybe not. But let's run through the cruise news, and then we will get to that. First off, let's talk about it. I mentioned in the show yesterday that cases are spiking in Europe, and some governments there are cracking down, Germany being one specifically, implementing new procedures, new rules on November the 2nd, making it a little more difficult to travel in Germany. And the way the cruise lines have responded has been interesting. TUI Cruises, they basically said they're going to be doing what they have been doing. A direct quote, TUI Cruises has been offering cruises since 3 months now with more than 30,000 satisfied guests and without any incidents on board, thanks to an extensive health and hygiene concept, including a mandatory test for all guests. So TUI looking at the spike in Germany and saying, we think we can manage it with our health protocols. We're going to keep cruising. Now, there's another cruise line that's only been cruising for a couple weeks in Germany that decided that they would align with the new recommendations from the German government. This is Carnival Corporation owned AIDA cruise lines. They've offered a couple weeks worth of cruising, but now with the recommendation coming out from the German government, they are going to match the recommendation. AIDA said, look, we'll take a break. We only just got started. Let's hit the pause button again, and we will hold off for the month of November. Another cruise line not letting up off the gas pedal is MSC. They will continue their cruises in Italy. And then Costa Cruise Line, another Carnival Corporation cruise line, they are altering their schedule for their Costa cruises in Italy to make it more of an Italian-centric cruise, limiting the ports of call they go to, limiting the countries. And so we see an itinerary adjustment, but for the most part, AIDA, the only cruise line pausing as the numbers go up in Europe. Now, the United States was not the only country to have a cruise ban set to expire on October the 31st. Canada also had a cruise ban set to expire on October the 31st. And while we are still waiting here in the United States to see what happens, we know what is happening in Canada. They have extended their cruise ban until February the 28th, 2021. The ban applies to any ships with overnight berths carrying 100 people or more. Small vessels can still make their way around the Canadian coast, but larger vessels like cruise ships fall under this ban. February the 28th, 2021, the date we will be watching to see whether Canada opens its ports up again. It is significant. We need Canadian ports open if we want cruising to resume in Alaska under the current circumstances, and so Canada plays a big part in that. But as for now, they will continue to be shut down. So here we are, just 1 day away from the CDC no-sell order expiring. We are just 1 day away from seeing whether or not CLIA will extend their ban on cruising. 1 day away from really understanding whether there will be any cruising in the United States in 2020. But one thing that there is no question about is my desire to invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you enjoy talking about cruising on the daily, at least Monday through Friday, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of the episodes. Before we get to our next news story, let's reconcile the word of the day commenters. Every day on the show, we have a word of the day. If you are so inclined, you can include that word in your comment. And once a week, we want to highlight who the creative commenters are. It's random. You just use the word in your comment, and then once a week I use a randomizer to pick people out. The word of the day on Monday was polar bear, and Jean Alix is highlighted as our commenter on Monday. Mummy, M-U-M-M-Y, word of the day on Tuesday. Geeky goodies. Billy Fearon, you were representing the word moist. And then yesterday's word was understanding, and the highlighted comment, Tiff and Dre TV. I have created these 4 cards with everybody's name on it. I'm going to put them in this bag, going to mix them up, draw out a name, and our creative commenter for this week, representing the word moist, Billy Farron. Hey, Billy, send me an email at tony@lalidaloca.com. I've got some additional information for you, but congratulations, Billy Farron, creative commenter of the week. All right, right, back into the news. Let's talk about Royal Caribbean. They had a big call yesterday, a financial call. CEO Richard Fain was on the call yesterday talking about all kinds of things. When will cruising return? How much money they got in the bank? What are they expecting going forward? How's their business doing? All the things that CEOs have to answer for. And let's just work through a few of them. First of all, what will cruising look like when it resumes? Well, he said it before. He doesn't believe that the first cruises will be carrying paying passengers. They will be treated more as test and trial runs filled with employees. We've kept our ear to the ground over here to see if that would extend maybe to travel agents or media type people. I don't know if we're considered media type people. I don't know if the vlogging community or the travel agent community will be included in these trial runs, but we are certainly looking to see if that is an opportunity. Again, I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't want to be excluded at the same time. I would rather have the choice, and so that is a possibility. And Richard Fain's saying that he's not super worried about administration change. We've talked about that a little bit, that they want to rely more on the science than on politics. Royal Caribbean's commitment is to cruising in the safest way possible, and the dude believes in the protocols. They put a lot of work into it. He says it very plainly. We are taking all steps to ensure that you are safer on a cruise ship than you are on Main Street. That's the goal. Again, you can attribute it to anything, altruism. You can attribute it to greed. You can attribute it to anything that you want, but at the end of the day, for the cruise lines to be successful, they're going to have to keep people safe on cruise ships. Whatever their motivation is, the end result should be a greater level of safety on cruise ships. And here you have the CEO of Royal Caribbean Group saying safer on a cruise ship than on Main Street. I like that assertion. I can get behind it. But what's the financial situation with Royal Caribbean? Well, they dropped the big number yesterday of the amount of money they lost in Q3, $1.3 billion. How about that? That's a lot of coin. Now, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, but they don't just have piles of billions of dollars laying around to be losing it on a quarterly basis. So the pandemic continues to wreak havoc with the finances of the cruise lines. They continue to have to look for money, sell stock. They have to sell ships. They have to borrow money. This is a stay head above water kind of tactic. And yeah, it's pretty scary. At the end of the day, in the meeting, they told us the Royal Caribbean has $3.7 billion. $1 billion is 1,000 million. So they have $3,700 million. So if you want to think of it like that, $3,700 million. It costs them around $300 million just to stay open every month. So let's pull out the calculator and we will divide 3,700 divided by 300. And that means we've got about 12.33 months that Royal Caribbean can do business at their current level of cash. But I think we're at that point in time where we're going to have to see revenue coming in, or this is going to be a sliding slope into nothingness where everybody's going to lose. And so, yeah, about 12 months of a runway. That seems like a long time, but as we've watched this year progress, we know the time, even though we're stuck in these weird spots in life, it seems like it's going quick. And so I think that 12 months could evaporate pretty quickly if the cruise lines don't get to start cruising again. We'll know by Saturday midnight whether or not December is still a possibility. I think these cruise lines have to start at some point. I believe they're going to bring to the table very extensive safety protocols to keep people safe, and I'm hoping to see them get a shot. I'm impressed that TUI's going to keep cruising in Germany. They believe in their health protocols. We'll just have to watch all of it. An interesting week in cruise news. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below. Anything that you're thinking about, let's have some sort of conversation. Please show your support for the show by hitting the like button. This is Tony with La Lita Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.